Yeah, today we have a job to do that's not the nicest job, but yeah, when we fill our silos in the fall, we always put a cover on the one and cap it, a piece of plastic, and then usually here late winter, early spring, we'll uncover it to start using off of it. So we're going to open that up today. Here's what it looks like up in the silo right now. We have James Way ring drive unloaders in our two concrete silos, and they have a distributor on them. You take the chute off that blows the silage out the door and put it's a little pan, a tapered pan piece that mounts right in the center of the silo, or right in the center of the unloader. A little pan piece mounts right in the center of the unloader, right on top of the fan, and then you turn the fan off, that the fan don't run, but the rest of the unloader runs and will go around, and the silage, there's a gooseneck, comes in the center of the silo, blows it right in and hits that pan, and then it kind of distributes it around the silo. So yeah, last fall when we got it full, we had filled it and then refilled it at least once, but it did settle down here probably at least 10 or 12 feet from where we had it full at. Yeah, probably 12 feet. And then we put a piece of plastic on top of the silage and threw a little bit of old silage around on top. And so yeah, my son is lowering the unloader down right now. It's on a motorized winch. It goes kind of slow, which that's good, but so yeah, we'll get it down here where it's not quite touching the silage. Then I'll crawl in and pull the plastic off, and then he'll come up and help me get the unloader all put together. So yeah, we'll try to get a little bit of video of this. And it's usually when I start pulling this plastic off, it's terrible dusty because that silage that's on top of there dried out over the last several months, and it's kind of a, yeah, we always wear masks when we're up here to try to keep from breathing too much of that dust in, because it's pretty sure it's not good for your lungs. Right there is the roof of the silo. There's a manhole where you can crawl in from the outside, and then there you can see the chute that blows it in. It's kind of right there. There's a skylight in the center of the roof. The silage that we would have had right along the wall over here, like on top of the plastic over here where that manhole is opened up. Yeah, we normally pull that shut. I guess we forgot to shut that last fall when we were up here last, but yeah, I got a little bit of moisture in here. Not much, but there was a little bit laying there right on top of the plastic there on that side. But yeah, we'll get this all pulled over here to the side and then try to get the unloader down a little bit more and then put it together. Yeah, I'll show a little video here while I'm waiting on my son to come up. This is that chute piece that I was saying about, that there's a tubing that sticks down in the top of the fan, like where the fan, that fan right there is what blows the silage out of the silo and down the chute. But we pop the belt off that runs that fan, and that tubing slides right down in the top of that where that fan would be. So that goes around when you turn the unloader on, but then the fan don't run, but the unloader goes around and it blows the silage in the center there through by that gooseneck, and then hits that pan and distributes it around. And then when you're done, whenever you have it full, you got to level it off a little bit. It don't take a whole lot, but yeah, right underneath the plastic, the silage is a little bit, we'll run probably, I don't know, 2-3 ton out of here and get rid of it. And then the next couple days we'll feed it to the heifers and dry cows, and then a couple days it'll be ready to feed to the milk cows and be good to go. So yeah, we'll see if we can get a little bit more video here while I'm up in the silo and see once what happens. But it's middle of the day here today, so it's really nice to get some video up here, or it's a lot of light in the silo to get some video. Here's what the top of the fan housing looks like, where that chute was sticking in, and where we'll connect the other chute that blows the silage out the door. And this chute over here is a bracket that fastens it on the main frame, and it just rides up here on the unloader. This silo unloader all set up and ready to run here. The chute that blows the silage is connected to the top of the unloader, and opened up 2 of the doors there. This silo was originally a 20 by 60 poured concrete silo. That means it was 20 feet across and 60 feet high. And probably, I don't know, 15, 18 years ago, we added 25 foot on top with stays. So it's a 20 by 85 now. I kind of almost later wished I wouldn't have did that. We did gain almost double the storage. I think a 20 by 60 is rated at around 420 ton of corn silage. A 20 by 85 is like 780. So it's not quite double, but almost. It does add a lot of extra silage, storage for silage, but we are going more to trenches and pals. And yeah, but anyhow, we have it, so we use it. And yeah, like I said, it did settle down probably about 10, 12 feet from where it was when we leveled it off and covered it there in the fall. But yeah, my son's gonna run a little bit here. I'm not sure, it might be a little bit dusty with some of that old silage in here yet, but we'll see if I can get just a little bit of video with it running. Down here in our feed room, we're running some out. We have a dump cart here. Our manure spreader is getting worked on right now. So we normally just load it right onto our manure spreader and spread it out in the field. But yeah, the one hydraulic cylinder was leaking, the big hydro push cylinder on our spreader. So we have it at a place they're rebuilding that cylinder. So yeah, we're just running on our dump cart. We'll take it out and dump it on a pile somewhere, or dump it in the manure pit. I'm not sure what we'll do with it yet. The silo, if you would measure on the inside from one side to the other, it should measure right at 20 feet. So the plastic that we get is pre-cut or pre-made. I'm not sure if it would be probably 21 or 22 feet wide, but it's in a circle, so it just fits nicely in there and has a little bit that comes up on the walls. And we've tried before to keep them and reuse them, but I don't know, they don't cost that much, and they're all dirty and crummy. The new ones you buy are in a nice little folded up package, and they don't, yeah, I'm thinking they're like $30 or $32. So we normally just throw the old one out and get a new one, and because it'll be like till the next year. The one we use in the other silo is 24 foot, so we can't use the same one. So not only would it be dirty and whatever, but laying around for 2 years till then, it'd probably start getting dry rotted and everything else. But yeah, we'll probably run, like I said, 2 or 3 ton off the top, 4 or 5 inches there to get rid of anything that's questionable. There may be still a little bit around the wall that'll be questionable for a couple more inches after that. Some of that for the heifers and dry cows for a couple days, but it'll be all right after that. Yeah, just a little update here on our bedding. I think it was about a month ago now I mentioned about starting to use some sawdust mixed with gypsum for bedding in our free stalls. So far we really like it. Keeps the stalls a lot drier and the cows are coming in a lot cleaner. Our somatic cell count actually dropped a little bit, and yeah, so far we really like it. There's what it looks like on the POW. It's probably about 1/3, barely even 1/3 mixed in over along this edge. It's a little bit more in the center. There's not quite as much. We try to mix it in a little better as we're getting it out to put it in the free stalls. Yeah, here again is what it looks like in our free stalls. We don't keep a lot of bedding in the stalls, just a little bit, enough to keep something on top of the mattresses to keep them dry. Our mattresses are really soft, so there's a lot of cushion there. They don't need a lot for softness, but they just enough to keep them clean and dry. And yeah, I did want to mention a little bit, I seen a couple of the comments. There was some concern mentioned about using gypsum for bedding and what it can do in your manure pits, and I had a lot of reservation about it. I mean, I've often heard of it for years and had a lot of reservation about it, and so when the man I get my sawdust from asked me about it, I mentioned to him about that guys say about having trouble with the gas that builds up in your manure when you agitate it. He said that he sells a lot of it to guys for bedding. He said that guys that use it straight and not mixed with sawdust tend to complain about a little more trouble with that. And he did say that the gypsum like this is ground up drywall basically. Not sure where it all comes from, but it's basically ground up drywall. They still call it gypsum. There's different types of gypsum you can use, and that this ground up drywall with the paper in it don't have near as much trouble. And he said he has a lot of guys using it and none of them are having any problems. So yeah, we'll try it here a little bit. We have not hauled manure since we've used this. So and where our pits are, they're well ventilated, they're out in the open. I would probably be really concerned if I had a slatted floor barn or something with a manure pit underneath the barn where your cows are in the barn and you're agitating, or you're kind of closed in the building. But I appreciate the concern and thanks for that, but we'll keep an eye out and see what happens here. We have enough, probably a load that we get lasts us a good 6 weeks here for our freestall barn. We buy the whole trailer load at a time. But yeah, thanks again for the comments, and we'll continue to at least get this load used up and see what happens from there.